Logic, often hailed as the supreme guide to truth, can be your worst enemy. This might seem perplexing at first, but what if I told you that there are glitches in our reasoning process, known as logical fallacies? These errors have the potential to distort our perception of reality, leading us to embrace misconceptions as the truth. Take, for instance, George Orwell's 1984. The protagonist, Winston, is caught in a world where doublethink, a logical fallacy, prevails. This scenario showcases how logic, when manipulated, can lead to a skewed understanding of reality. Additionally, in our everyday interactions, we can fall prey to logical fallacies. They appear as loaded questions, false dilemmas, and hasty generalizations, leading us astray from the truth. It's crucial to be mindful of these pitfalls. Your sword of logic can sometimes lure you into confusion and deception. The world of fallacies. Often mistaken as logical arguments, fallacies are flawed reasonings that can be quite convincing at first glance. They are like optical illusions, tricking us into believing what isn't true. Think of watching a magic trick. A rabbit's pulled from an empty hat. It's impossible, but you saw it. Is what fallacies do. They deceive us into accepting falsehoods. We encounter fallacies in debates, advertisements, and daily conversations. They can manipulate and mislead. Consider a politician who, rather than addressing issues, attacks his opponent's character, or an ad claiming product superiority because a celebrity endorses it. The impact of fallacies on arguments is significant. They can distort our understanding and lead us away from truth. However, as we explore further, we'll learn to identify these fallacies and comprehend their true nature. By doing so, we equip ourselves with knowledge, the best tool for navigating the labyrinth of logic. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the deceptive world of fallacies in the next scene, unmasking their true forms and understanding their impact on our journey through the labyrinth of logic. Fallacies, like chameleons, wear different shades, adapting to their surroundings to blend in, making them challenging to detect. We begin with the ad hominem fallacy, a deceptive tactic where the critic targets the person instead of the argument itself, exemplified by the protagonist from George Orwell's 1984. Next, we encounter the straw man fallacy, a misrepresentation of an opponent's argument, similar to the cruel image of Boo Radley in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. The appeal to authority fallacy involves blind acceptance of an argument because it endorses it. Lastly, the slippery slope fallacy, where a minor event is suggested to lead to a significant chain of events, exemplified by Frodo's fear in The Lord of the Rings. As we've seen, fallacies are the deceptive faces of logic, often used to mislead or manipulate. When we encounter them, how do we respond? We need understanding, awareness, and a strategic response. Take the ad hominem fallacy, where the critic diverts focus from the argument to the person. If faced with this, understand it's a diversion. Maintain your focus on the argument, not the personal attack. Ask the critic, does my character influence the validity of my argument? This brings the discussion back to the subject. It's not about reciprocating the attack, but steering the conversation back to logic. By doing this, you're not only countering the fallacy, but also exposing the critic's attempt to deviate. This enhances your critical thinking capabilities. In logic, it's not about winning, it's about truth, reason, and clarity. So remember, recognize, respond. Equip yourself with understanding, awareness, and a strategic response. Because, in the realm of logic, these are the true weapons against the deceptive faces of fallacies. Before we delve deeper into the power of awareness, let's briefly discuss the straw man fallacy. Imagine a debate scenario. You present a logical argument, but your opponent distorts it into a weaker version, a straw man. Instead of addressing your points, the opponent attacks this straw man argument, declaring triumph. For instance, you're promoting a balanced lifestyle, but the opponent misrepresents your argument saying, "You're for no junk food and constant exercise." Such a distortion is a clever evasion tactic, swaying the uninformed audience. However, with understanding and awareness, you can counter this deception, stating, "I advocate for a balanced lifestyle, not abstinence from junk food or constant exercise." You steer the argument back to its essence. Remember, in the battlefield of logic, fallacies are deceptive tactics. Awareness is your defense. The strawman fallacy is one deceptive face of fallacies. We all possess the capacity to discern truth from falsehood, a powerful defense against the poison of logical fallacies. This isn't about being a scholar. It's about becoming a discerning thinker, capable of questioning and probing beneath the surface of an argument. Consider the example of a wise merchant. He was confronted with a false dilemma: to either invest in a high-risk venture or miss a golden opportunity. Yet with his sharp mind, he recognized the fallacy. He questioned, "Isn't there a third option?" His awareness helped him to find a previously unseen path. Remember, logical fallacies are intended to deceive, to divert you from the path of clear thinking. Visualize yourself in a thick forest, with pathways twisting and turning. Logical fallacies are the misleading trails that promise a shortcut, but lead you astray. Your power of recognition is like a compass, guiding you back to the path of truth. The merchant from our previous scene. His power of recognition assisted him to see beyond the given choices, to find a new path missed by others. His compass pointed him not to the easiest, but to the right path. This is the power of recognition, a vital tool in your intellectual arsenal. It exceeds just knowing the names and definitions of fallacies. It involves detecting them in conversation or debate. It's about viewing the world critically, questioning the given, and navigating the logic maze with confidence and precision. In our next scene, we'll dive deeper into the art of recognition, exploring practical ways to hone this skill and protect ourselves from the deceptive allure of logical fallacies. Welcome to the much-anticipated segment of this journey, the craft of discerning thinking. This isn't just about spotting fallacies or flawed logic. It's about critical thinking, probing beneath the surface of the information we encounter. Imagine yourself as a logic detective, sifting through files, brushing away deception to reveal the skeleton of truth. This craft can be broken down into 3 key steps. First, question everything. Don't accept presented information at face value. Second, probe deeper. Look for the underlying logic. And third, be open to different perspectives. The truth often resides in the middle, not the extremes. Discerning thinking is your shield against fallacies. In our next and final scene, we'll put everything we've learned into action. We'll be the logic detectives we've trained to be, using our discerning thinking to navigate deception and find the truth.